Hello friends, welcome to our channel Cbse English, the Topper's Choice. In today's video, we are going to discuss class 10th 6th poem Amanda. At the beginning, we'll talk about the poet of this poem. Robin Klein is the poet of this poem. Robin Klein was born on 28th February 1936. She is an Australian author of books for children. She writes children's and young adult fiction. She had her first short story published at the age of 16. Several of her books have been shortlisted for the Cbse Children's Book of the Year Award. Some of her famous books are Hating Alison Ashley, People Might Hear You, etc. Theme of this poem. This poem revolves around a child, Amanda, who is constantly nagged by her mother. The child is always monitored and questioned about her actions by her mother. The theme of the poem Amanda is that the parents who do not understand the nature of their children keep giving commands to their children. They want their children to adopt the norms of society. This has adverse impact on the upbringing of the children. Amanda seems to be escaping in the beginning. However, in the end, she stops imagining and rather becomes short-tempered, moody, and angry. Introduction to this poem. The poem Amanda is about a little girl, Amanda, who is constantly pointed out by her mother for making mistakes. Robin Klein has beautifully expressed the girl's feelings in the poem about how she is controlled and instructed by her mother for small things. The poem conveys an important message that children should never be deprived of their freedom. They should not feel that for every small thing they do, their parents constantly nag them. It's the responsibility of the parents to bring up their children in such a way that they understand their viewpoint instead of getting frustrated. Children should not feel that an orphan has more freedom than them. Now we'll discuss the summary of this poem. The poet Robin Klein describes Amanda, who is continuously instructed by her mother about do's and don'ts. The poet says Amanda's mother is pointing out her mistakes and asking her not to bite her nails. Then she tells her not to bend her back and shoulders. She scolds her for walking in a lazy way with her head and shoulders hanging down and directs her to sit straight. By listening to all this, Amanda starts getting frustrated by her mother and starts imagining herself to be in a deep green sea. She imagines how blissful her life would be if she would be a sea god, that is, mermaid, having a fish tail instead of legs. Then she would have enjoyed the sea waves and moved along with the waves up and down in the water. Then Amanda's mother is inquiring whether she has completed her homework or not. Then she asks her whether she has cleaned her room or not. She is also reminding her to clean her shoes. At this moment, Amanda visualizes her life as an orphan. She thinks that being an orphan, she can freely roam in the street. She has the freedom to peacefully draw designs on the soft dust with her uncovered feet. There is no one to say anything to an orphan, so she can have a silent, peaceful life full of freedom. Here, the poet says that she gets so irritated with her mother that she thinks the opposite. Her mother was advising her to clean her shoes so that she lives a hygienic and healthy life. But Amanda took it in another way, that her mother is snatching her freedom. That's why she starts imagining that the life of an orphan is better than hers. Amanda's mother is not allowing her to eat chocolates. Whenever she eats chocolates, she gets pimples on her face. Her mother then tells her to listen to her when she is speaking. She wants Amanda to pay attention to her words and follow them. After listening to her mother's words, Amanda imagines herself to be Rapunzel, a character in a fairy tale. Rapunzel was captured in a tower by a witch. The witch used to climb the tower with the help of Rapunzel's long hair. So, Amanda wants to live Rapunzel's life, as she feels that she can live a calm and quiet life in a pleasant environment. But she will never let her hair down to anyone, so that no one can enter the tower. In the last stanza, Amanda's mother wants her to stop behaving in an odd manner. She says that she has become moody and is always in a bad mood. If anyone would notice this, then they will feel that her mother is harassing her. The poet wants to convey that Amanda can't even react to what she feels about her mother. If she does so, her mother will take it against her sense of pride and scold her to behave properly as other children do. Here, Amanda's mother's nature is shown to be very dominating. Now we'll discuss the poetic devices used in this poem. Number 1. Rhyming scheme. The rhyming scheme of stanza number 1 and 2 is AA, BA, CCC. Stanza number 3 and 4, AADA, EEE. Stanza number 5 and 6, AAFA, GGG. And stanza number 7, AAHA. Number 2, alliteration. It means the repetition of consonant sounds, especially at the beginning of the words. It has been used in these examples of the poem. Use of sound S in stop that slouching and sit up straight, and stop that sulking. Number 3, assonance means words that have the same or very similar vowel sounds near one another. Use of vowel sound U in you and shoes. Then use of vowel sound E and U in will you please look at me when I am speaking to you? Number 4, imagery. The poet tries to create an image about a mermaid. When poet says drifting blissfully, here imagery has been used. Number 5. Repetition. The repeated use of a word or a phrase in the poem. Here, use of the word Amanda throughout the poem. Number 6. Anaphora. It means the repetition of a word or phrase at the beginning of a series of clauses or sentences. Example in the poem: don't bite your nails, Amanda. Don't hunch your shoulders, Amanda. Here, the word don't has been repeated at the beginning of these two lines in stanza number 1. One more example we have. Did you finish your homework, Amanda? Did you tidy your room, Amanda? Here also, at the beginning of these two lines, did you, this phrase is repeated. It is in stanza number 5. Number 7. Metaphor. In metaphor, a word or phrase is applied to an object or action to which it is not literally applicable. Metaphor is used in these examples in the poem: Emerald Sea in stanza number 2. The silence is golden, the freedom is sweet in stanza number 4. Number 8. Allusion. It means an indirect or passing reference to a person, place, thing, or event. It can be real or imaginary, referring to anything from fiction to folklore to historical events and religious manuscripts. Allusion has been used in this example of the poem. Use of well-known imaginary creature, mermaid, and use of famous fairy tale character, Rapunzel. Now we'll discuss the main points of this poem. The little girl Amanda is biting her nails. Her mother asks her not to do it. Amanda is putting her shoulders down to one side. Her mother asks her to lift up her shoulders and adopt the right posture. Amanda seems to be stooping on one side. Her mother asks her to sit up straight. Amanda doesn't bother what her mother says. She is lost in a world of dreams and fantasy. She imagines herself as a mermaid. She lives in a peaceful emerald sea all alone. She is moving all around freely and blissfully like a mermaid. Amanda's mother asks if she has finished her homework. She asks if she has made her room tidy and clean. Amanda's mother reminds her that she instructed her to clean her shoes and she hasn't done so. Amanda doesn't care a bit what her mother says to her. She is again in the world of dreams and fantasy. She prefers to be an orphan than living such a life. She wants to roam around the streets freely and aimlessly. She wants to walk on the soft dust with her bare feet. The pressing of the feet will create designs on the soft dust. She loves silence, and freedom is the sweetest thing that she values in her life. Again, Amanda's mother stops her from eating chocolate. She must remember that eating chocolate might cause her some problem. Her mother reminds her to observe good manners. She must not look the other way when her mother is speaking to her. Again, Amanda ignores her mother. She imagines herself as Rapunzel, living in a tower where there is a reign of peace and tranquility. Amanda is proud of her beautiful hair and would not let them down like Rapunzel. Amanda's mother calls her moody. She asks her to stop being sulky and unhappy at once. If she remains unhappy, people will think that her mother has been nagging her. So dear friends, if you have liked this video, please click on like, subscribe the channel and click on the bell icon to get more videos like this. Thank you very much for watching.